How is everybody doing this late evening, night here in the San Gabriel Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. at night? Why do I do it at night? It's almost like practice. Sometimes I wait a little bit too late, but this is actually a part two. This is actually part two to health and rhythm and you and me. But this is about the secret to health. Now let's get right down to it. These aren't the golden rules. Of course, I made these up myself. Of course, that's why I'm doing the speaking, because I make it up myself because of what I went through and what I am learning and what I am becoming wise to, whether I want to be or not. And the first one is you must have a good attitude. I know most of us have a great life. We've been smiling all our life, no matter how we feel. We've been through some rough times, but yet we still manage to smile. But when something happens to us, some people want to realize how come you still have a good attitude? How come you still smiling? How come you never look sad? Because that is the way it is. That's the way life is, and you have to learn to accept it. That's number one. You must have a good attitude. Because when something goes down, at least you can keep your head up and you can always give someone else confidence in themselves in case something that is brought to light in their own mind, in their own situation, in their own life. Number two, you must exercise. You definitely have to exercise. It don't matter if it's once a week. Even if you don't go to the gym, you should walk. Over the years, constantly we hear people talk about they belong to gym memberships and they never use it. What a waste of time and money. You can always find some kind of time, whether it's 15 minutes. I at least try to do an hour, with a combination of machine weight or bicycle, sometimes a treadmill. When I first started, I was a go-getter. I'd be at the gym for like 4 hours. And then some days I'd skip the gym and I'd go run in some park or run up a hill back and forth right after work. When I used to work the night shift and got off at 8 in the morning, I used to go run. I I walk up the hill and I run down. It's easier to run down than it is to run up. So you must exercise doing something. If you're on your feet a lot, you can call it exercise, but you really must have to get into it. You really must have a schedule down. And even if you don't, whatever free time you have, you feel like you're not doing anything, you're not gaining anything, you're just sitting around, you might as well go for a walk, a vigorous walk, any place. It doesn't have to really be around the block. If you don't want to be seen, go to a park, go somewhere, middle of a field, someplace, some other city, walk where they got nice greenery, a nice place, a track or something, high school track, no one is using it, real track. But you must exercise. That's number two. Number three, and I think that's most important, you must eat right. We all love to eat food, and sometimes we eat a little bit too much. Now I'm at a point where I have to eat according to my medical situation. Do I need a dietitian? Perhaps that could be next. But I'm learning the hard way of finding out how much and the portions you eat course, I mentioned this before in the others, but I'll have to say it again. I have to mention it. Depends on what you eat, especially what you put inside your body. I never was one to eat more or eat something that I don't like anymore. But now I'm at a situation that my health really had nothing to do with eating. But now, since my health has affected my eating, now I have to eat right. So up until this point, I was eating no matter what I did. But when certain health situations come about, which had nothing to do with eating, and all of a sudden you have surprise, surprise, surprise. Now you have to eat a certain way because of something that happened to you that you have no complete control over. So still, I have to have a good attitude. I still have to go exercise. You still have to keep doing those things that you like to do. And thinking of eating right for the first time ever. The first time ever, I'm eating a bowl of cereal that looks like this. I've always eaten just cereal. I never actually put fruit in the cereal. I thought it was kind of strange. Of course, they have dried fruit in most cereals, but I wasn't expecting to actually take the time and put fruit in my cereal. I don't put sugar in it. Of course, back in the day, you used to put sugar in it or you eat frosted flakes, but this is just regular cornflakes. And they say you should eat cereal with strawberries, berry, blackberry, blueberry, any kind of fruit you have. One thing that I used to do a lot, I used to eat a lot of bananas. I used to cut up bananas into all of my cereals only, not strawberries, not berries, not blackberries, not anything else but banana. But now that I can't eat bananas really anymore, at least not right now, for what qualities it has so far as high potassium, I have to eat right. So there it is, almond milk, cornflakes, strawberries. This is two fruit. And it look like it's blackberries. I'm not sure, but it's one or the other. So that's one thing that I've never done ever in my life, but put two or three types of fruit in my cereal. Always have been bananas. And that was my breakfast this morning. For lunch, if you saw my video, Corner Bakery again. I'm back at Corner Bakery. A small salad. And this evening I had chicken meatloaf, which I didn't show. So I'm back in the saddle again, eating accordingly the way that I need to eat. Small portions, hand size, depending on what size your hand. Is a hand size of a woman bigger than a man, or a man's hand bigger than a you know what I mean? I don't think it really matters whose hand is big as what. It's got to be your own hand. It's got to be the correct portions. You can eat as many things you want, but it's got to be in small portions because your body has to be able to process it. Number 4, take care of yourself and get a checkup. I know many people, we forego the checkups. The older you get, the more checkups you have to do. When you was younger, you probably didn't have to go to the doctor much, maybe every 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 years. But you still should be going to get a checkup anyway. They always want you to go get your vaccinations and all this type of stuff. Well, that's a part of it. But when you get older, you have to start taking yourself in a realistic way and go to the doctor, get checked out, see if everything is all right with you. Not necessarily the body, it could be the brain. Anything can happen to you, even when you're younger. But now you are responsible for yourself, and you should be trying to take care of yourself and get a checkup. There might be times where you're starting to go to the doctor continuously, all the time, the way I am now, which I didn't think I ever wanted to do. I still don't want to do it, but now I have no choice. Checkup, checkup, checkup. The older you get, if you start having problems, you have to do what they say, no matter what. You try to do the best you can. It is a scary situation, as I mentioned before, but you got to take care of yourself. You got to go to the doctors. You got to go to the nurses. You got to go to the technicians. You got to take your medication. That's the number one thing for number 4. This is a very important one to me. You have nothing to prove but to yourself. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. You don't have to do nothing stupid. You don't have to do nothing crazy. If you can think whatever you can do athletically, then you should keep on doing those things. You don't have to overdo it. You don't have to overdo anything. You don't have to over talk anybody. You don't have to prove anything to anybody but to yourself. It is your body. There's a song like that. This is your body. This is my body. It's some kind of disco song back to past. But yeah, you need to take care of yourself regardless of who it is. I don't care what loved ones around you. You need to take care of yourself first because you have nothing to prove but to yourself. No matter what it is, whatever type of job you're trying to get, whatever athletic prowess you have, you don't have to worry about trying to be everybody, but you do have to prove something to yourself, that you're sane and that you're able, and that most importantly, you are capable physically and mentally to get around. Now, of course, if you can't do those things, you need a little help. That's something else altogether, but it's still the same thing. It's just to get you back on your feet so you can do the things that you've been doing. But don't be doing it because of someone else. Do it because you have to. And then just do it. We've been hearing about them things. I think that's one of the first things I started saying when I first started my YouTube is just do it. It's true. You have to follow through everything you do. So after good attitude, you must exercise. You must eat right. You need to take care of yourself. Go to the doctor. All those things, you must do it. Just do those things that you have to do. And you will be much happier, even better than the attitude that you have. Now, that was number 6. Number 7, it rolls right on to it. Do the things you like to do. Regardless of what anyone tells you, do those things you like to do. If you like reading comics, then go ahead and read comics. If you like to play games, then go ahead and be a gamer. If someone to stop you from doing those things, then that's quite too bad, because that's what you like to do. Of course, there is such thing as common sense. Just don't be doing things you like to do above and beyond common sense. But do things within reason. But do the things that you like to do, travel, eat, go to events, drive to different places, travel. Keep on doing those things that you like to do. And number 8, I think, is very sensitive because I think sometimes we forget who we are as human beings. We should be sensitive to others less fortunate than you are. I feel every time. Sometimes you automatically have to have those feelings anyway. But when you start having problems yourself, when it's hard for you to get around, when it's hard for you to communicate, when you're going through some heavy physical, mental changes, and you look at others around you, I think a person should be sensitive to others less fortunate than they are, be more understanding of what they're going through, because I know for a fact the more things that I go through, I'm oversensitive. I'm sensitive to the point where sometimes I do get kind of mad. I have a good attitude, but I still do get kind of mad. I can't forget who I am. I know what I've been through. I know what type of pain I went through as a child, physically, not being the best than someone else, but I'm the best within my little range, within my social circle, and that's all that matters. When we see someone who can't even do the basic fundamentals of life, you have to be more sensitive to others. You should reach out, help them if you can. I'm not saying overstep anything, but just little small things that you do to remind yourself that some other people need a helping hand. I'm sure you'll get a helping hand once in a while and you would appreciate it. I'm sure they would appreciate it also. Now the whole thing is, remember, there is no 9 to 10. But remember, I wrote this down, even when following certain actions, that will not necessarily make you perfect. But at least you can say, I tried my best. You tried your best in everything you do to take care of yourself, to take care of others. There's no such thing as the golden rule or the silver rule. There are rules, but common sense is probably one of the rules also. But remember, all the things that you do, if you believe in karma, that's fine, but this is not a karma thing. This is not a religious thing. This is a human condition thing. Don't forget who you are, where you come from. Because you can say it, but at least you can say, I tried my best. And that is all you can ever ask of anyone, including yourself. That's all you can do, is that you try your best. Pass or fail, at least you tried to be the best that you can be in whatever you do. That is the secret to health, if that is a secret at all. Secret health? To some people it probably is. But the secret to health is try to live the best as you can, regardless of all the circumstances that surround you. And this is Reverend Deshaun. I'll see you in my next video. This is a little bit different. This is practice. Practice. We heard that before. Another eclectic, I do what I want to do video. And that's the way it's going to be. Talk to you later. Have a great rest of your day.